Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to Key to the Game podcast. It's your boy Key with another episode. Today, I got a special guest, man. Chris, introduce yourself to the people.
Chris McCullough, Bronx, New York, Cortland Ave, Syracuse product.
Yeah, man. So, first and foremost, I just want to tell you I appreciate you for getting up on the stage with me, sharing your story with my podcast and everything. And
Appreciate it.
yeah, man, you all the way in Taiwan, so we like on a 13-hour difference, but we getting it done.
Time is different. It's sunny outside right now.
It's like 1 a.m. out here, B.
Hey, it's crazy.
But yeah, we just want to for all the followers, for all the people the fans and everybody, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And we just gonna jump into it, man. Chris, just tell the people a little bit about yourself, your upbringing and everything, and let's jump in from there.
Chris McCullough, like I said, product of the Bronx from Cortland Ave 156. Come from a basketball family. You know, pops played ball, All-American. Uncle played ball, All-American at Pittsburgh. Pops with the Murray State. I got another cousin I went to Pittsburgh, played there, was All-American. So I come from a basketball family and been playing basketball since I was like 5 years old. As long as I can remember. Went to Salisbury in Connecticut for 3 years, then transferred, went to Brewster for a year and a half, and did a post-grad year at IMG. Ended up at Syracuse, did half a season, tore my ACL, ended up with Brooklyn, first round.
And yeah, so we're gonna start from the beginning, man. Like you said, you went to Salisbury, then you went to Brewster, and then you went to IMG. And being from New York, like a lot of people, tend to start off going to high school in New York and then make their way out the city. What was it for you to never attend a high school in New York? Like, how did that come about?
It's crazy because I was supposed to go freshman year. I was supposed to go to Kennedy for a year,
okay.
and then like my 8th grade year, I had a wild ass story. I was playing in my middle school, in my hood, whatever. We was good. We was a good team. We was beating everybody and stuff. And it was this one janitor dude that was in my school, black dude. He came to me one day when my mom was at the game, and he gave my mom a paper. Was like, "Yo, bring Chris to this location. It's called the Boys Club in New York." Never heard about it, never knew what it was, didn't know anything about it. But she was like, "Yo, we're gonna go here this day. It's gonna be some coaches there, some high school coaches there, and you're gonna play kind of like an all-star game." You know, I was the youngest one. I was in 8th grade. Everybody was like 10th grade, 11th, 12th grade already. I was in 8th grade, so I was the youngest one there. I get there, and it's a gym packed full of like prep school coaches. And at this time, I don't have no clue what's prep school like. I never heard of prep school. I ain't know nothing about this shit. So I go. I play good. I play well. I get to play the game. And after the game, I have 20 coaches calling my mom about prep school. And we literally have no idea what prep school is, where none of these schools are at. So we Googling them, trying to see what these schools are about. I'm saying like these schools got big campuses. You stay abroad. Some of them in Massachusetts, some of them in Connecticut. So I looked into it, and then I ended up going to Salisbury.
Okay. And like you said, you come from a basketball family. Did your dad and your uncle like have any influence on you as far as like going to that school, or as far as just being a kid playing basketball?
Yeah, my uncle went to Flyburg, not Flyburg. I forgot. He went to MCI. I think that was in Maine. So he was familiar with prep school.
Maine Central.
Yeah. So and him and Carlton Hines went there together. So he was familiar with prep school, but I still had no clue of what it was, and maybe shit was gonna be different from his time to my time. I didn't know. So I was skeptical on going there and leaving the Bronx anyways. I never really left the Bronx besides going to play AAU. So I was like, nah, I don't really want to go to prep school. And then the same year, I was actually enrolled to go to St. Ray's that year.
Okay.
So, but it just never happened. My mom was like, "Yo, the best thing for you is to leave the states. You get a better education, go to prep school. If you don't like it, we figure something out." And I ended up being there for 3 years.
And who would you have played with if you'd have went to St. Ray's?
Myron Hickman, Larry was there, Dingle was there, Okoro was there. I think that's the year they won the championship too.
Yeah, I was a junior that year in high school. I remember that team.
Yeah,
they was freshmen.
Yeah, facts. Yeah, that was that team.
Okay, yeah, they had a good crew. I think they took it. They took it.
Yeah.
And so you go to Salisbury. How is it leaving the Bronx? We like we one of the best cities in the world. Our culture is like we always outside and everything, and now you're going to Salisbury. I'm sure it's like a major
shock.
difference. Culture shock.
Yeah, the whole thing even going there. Like when I went on my tour, my interview, I get up there, it's maybe like 6 black kids up there. Maybe like it might be 4 and 2 half black, half white. Not really, what I mean, not from the city. So I'm like, nah, this is crazy. So I mean, I'm touring the campus, whatever. The campus look nice, it look beautiful. I mean, it's surrounded by a lot of mainland trees, but the grass is cut nice, the gym is nice, the facilities is nice, the dorms is nice. That's my first time seeing it, so I'm wide open to it. But I also take like 20 different other tours of schools, so I'm like, okay, like this school is nice, but so is the other school. But the other school got girls. This school all boys. Do I really want to go here? And then the big thing was about it. Like my mom was like, "Yo, go get your education, man. Like, worry about the girls later, whatever. Don't worry about the girls. You know what I mean? Not being there. You can come home on the weekends." Come to find out, that school got Saturday school, so it was hard for me to go home on the weekend. So I was just So it was just a whole culture shock for me. And like my first 2 weeks there was like schoolwork was hard. I wasn't used to the schoolwork. I had to learn how to be on time, had to tie a tie, had to always keep my shirt tucked in and just be professional with everything. Cause it was like a time schedule for every single thing you did. So I mean, it prepared me though. Like now it prepared me.
Yeah, at that time, being a 13 or 14-year-old, you don't know that it's preparing you for life.
Exactly.
And so just I don't know if a lot of people know, although you play basketball there, you also play football.
Yeah.
Like, speak on that experience.
Honestly, I got two championship rings there too, football.
Oh,
So
what?
so that's a good accomplishment for me. But yeah, we had to play 3 sports in Salisbury. It was a fall, winter, and spring sport. So I did football, basketball, and I did lacrosse. And then they tried to get me to do crew. I did track and field for a little bit, and I did a little bit of soccer. I tried to get a little bit of everything.
Mm-hmm.
But I got 2 championships. My second year in football, I played with a lot of guys that went and got drafted to the NFL. So that was pretty cool. Besides that, when I got to my second season, my basketball coach made it a thing like, yo, I don't have no players running through the middle because we can't afford for him to get hurt.
Mm-hmm.
So every play I had was just straight ahead, straight ways, just straight fades. But we ended up winning the championship 2 years back to back.
And you was a wide receiver and a free safety, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Okay. And did you ever think that you had a future in football?
I never thought. I just did it just to. I feel like I was very athletic and I was faster than a lot of people. I was tall, could jump, so that's why I really did it. And plus, like I said, we had to play 3 sports, so that was. I played football growing up, so that was something I was used to.
And come basketball season, how is it playing up there different from playing in the city? Because I know up there, like in the Connecticut, Massachusetts area, you guys are playing against the or you guys playing against the Brewsters and
not at Salisbury. Not at Salisbury. That's Salisbury. We played like the toughest school we played was like St. Andrews. They had Michael Carter Williams at the time.
Okay.
But yeah, my division wasn't that strong because my school was like academic school. Okay. So this is like really our first year. My first year there, we had like 2 basketball scholarship players. Then my second year there, we got like 3. Then my third year there, we got like 5. So like each year we was getting better and better with basketball. And by the third year, it got to the point where I was like way too good for that league that I had to transfer. So that's when I went to Brewster.
And how was that experience in Brewster?
Brewster was amazing, man. I played with a lot of guys in Brewster for 1.5 years. I played with so many guys. I think our first year we had 14 guys go high level Division I basketball. So you could already imagine how that team was stacked.
And if you could just let some of the people know some of the notable names that people might know.
I played with Jared Terrell. He was signed to Oklahoma State, but then went to Rhode Island. Elijah Macon went to West Virginia. I went to Syracuse. Ron Patterson went to Syracuse. Kyle Washington went to NC State. It was another dude, Patrick Wallace, went to NC State as a walk-on. Robin Champion went to Holy Cross. Kevin Zabo went to what school he went to? San Diego State. Donovan Mitchell was there, but he was younger. That's before he committed to Louisville. He was there. Okay. Dante Graham was there. Who else? Isaac Copeland. It was so many of us.
Yeah, I was loaded.
Yeah, it was so many of us. It was crazy.
And is this around the time like you feel that your name blew up? or was it at Salisbury that it blew up?
At Salisbury blew up. I think my freshman year, that's when I went to hoop group and I had like a real good hoop group. And then I grew from like 6 feet to 6'6" in like 2 months. And everybody was like, yo, who is this young kid? You know, he got talent, he can shoot the ball, he can run the floor very well, he get off the floor quick and easy. So that's when like I started getting my first offers, and that's when things started blowing up.
Yeah, you had like a AD growth spurt going from a guard to a wing.
It was crazy though, because I'll be walking around on campus and I would walk around, I would hear my knees like crack. So I was kind of scared. So I went to the doctor and he was like, "Yeah, you about to have a growth spurt." And I grew like 2 inches like every 2 weeks. It was wild. It was crazy.
Yeah, man, that's tough. And let's before we get into the Brewster, let's just talk about you playing with Team Skin, because I feel like your team, that particular team, was like the team that put Skin on the map, which is also known as PSA Cardinals right now. I feel like that team right there, you, the Shavar Newkirk, that's my young boy from Harlem. A few others that was on that team. What's his name?
Terry Lariat. Yeah. Sheck Diallo was there.
Just speak on that summer with those guys.
Yo, honestly, when I first got this, I used to play with Metro at first, but I was always playing up with Metro. But like at the time, I was the big, and I was only 6 feet at the time, so that shit wasn't working for us. And then I'm like, yo, I'm playing up with these dudes, and we got a team full of guards, and we losing every game, so it's not doing nothing for me. So I met Munch that summer. I think this was like 9th grade year. I met Munch that summer. He was like, yo, this play 16 to see how it go. Come to practice in the summertime, and we're gonna figure it out. I looked at Munch like, nigga, I ain't going to no practice, bro. I'm out practicing in the summertime. Like I'm trying to chill. I'm away from home all year. I want to chill. I want to be a kid in New York. You feel me? So I'm like, nah, I ain't trying to do that. Long story short, I ended up going to practice one day, and like, me and Munch is locked in like the whole summer. And then he had like a game plan for me and a whole team, and he like, yo, we gonna do this, we gonna stick to this, and this is how it's gonna work. Like, don't worry about the outcome now, but down the line, this is how it's gonna work. And literally, we went from one tournament to the next. We was winning everything, and we wasn't at this time. We didn't even have no Nike deal. We was wearing the string book bags that said Team Skin on the back with the fake NBA logo, and Nike came in the picture. And we had just beat Gauchos. We had just beat Long Island Lightning. We beat Boo Williams. We win Boo Williams. So now Nike looking at us like, yo, y'all got a top level kid on the team. Here's a contract. And from there, we just blew up.
See, a lot of people don't know that story, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was dope watching that, because that's how I got like how I found out about you, because Shavar, you know, I watched Shavar grow up and shit. I know his older brother and stuff. So I used to just tune in to watch him. Yeah. And then I start seeing other players. I'm like, oh shit, like, you feel me? Y'all had a good group.
Yeah, we was rocking for sure.
And at Brewster, man, just talk about like the schedule y'all played against, because Brewster always got a national schedule. You guys always playing against, like, just like you said, you have 14 D1 players. Y'all always playing against the Oak Hills and stuff like that. That also has 10 D1 players. Like, how did that prepare you for college?
Honestly, it prepared us pretty well, because most of everybody I played against was like post grad, so everybody was already a year done with high school. Like, they just couldn't get into college that year because of grades. So basically, we played against grown men. But the competition level, that the shit was amazing. Like, we would play against Tilton. At the time, Tilton had Nerlens Noel, Wayne Selden. Then we would play against Noah Vonleh one day. Then we go play against Good Luck O'Connor. It was so many names in that league. Terry Rozier was in our league. So, like, we played against so many guys. And that year, I think we only lost like 2 games. We lost the very first game, and then we lost the championship game. But we was smacking everybody by 30. So it was a good season.
And what would you say was like your most memorable game there?
Our most memorable game? I can't even remember. Yeah, I can't remember. It was. I feel like every game to us, like I said, we was beating every team by 30 plus, and no one was. I was averaging like 14 points at the time, but it was like 14, 13, 12, 12, 12, 10.
Yeah, it's allowed 14.
Yeah, so it was like everybody is getting off in their own way. We all look good. We all got college coaches coming to the gym. No, we make each other look good. We play off each other, and everybody ended up going D1 that year.
And you end up committing to Syracuse at Brewster.
Yeah.
Why commit early instead of letting all the colleges continue to see you prosper as a high school prospect? Because at the time you were top 10 in the nation.
Yeah, that's it. Just get annoying, bro. Like you start to get all these phone calls and these college coaches reaching out to you, like your AAU coaches. They calling your family. They trying to figure out what you're going to do, when you're going to cut the list from 20 to 15 or 15 to 10. It's just annoying, but I kind of already knew where I was going. I already took all my visits I needed to take. I experienced Arizona. I experienced St. John's, Syracuse. I seen West Virginia, Iowa State. I was going to all these places already, taking my visits. So I kind of already knew where I was going. Syracuse felt like home to me. I've been taking visits there since I was in 9th grade. Nobody really knew, but that felt like home to me, and I already knew where I was going. So it was good for me to come in early, just be done with it. I already know where I'm going.
All right, yeah, that's what's up. And at the end of your Brewster year, you end up leaving and going to IMG Academy.
Mm-hmm.
What was the reason behind that, and how was that experience as opposed to being at Brewster?
I got expelled from Brewster.
Okay.
Because my first year I got in some trouble, and they basically give you 2 strikes. My first year I got in some trouble. My second year I ended up going to like an off-campus party where I wasn't supposed to go. And the very next day we all go to the dining hall, and the dean got about 15 students lined up. So I already know it's lit. So we go into the office, whatever. He talks to everybody for like 15, 20 minutes separately. We go in the office. He asked me straight up, did I go to the party? I told him yes. He asked, did I smoke? Did I drink? I said no. I was only there for 5 minutes, but I did go.
Mm-hmm.
Being said, it was my second strike already. So he's like, I know you may be telling the truth, but we have to kick you out of the school. We have to expel you just because it's your second strike. So I'm like, all right, cool. It is what it is. I find another school. And then IMG actually found me. I never even heard of IMG before this. And so they found me. It was like, yo, we could bring you in as a post-grad. You won't have to typically go to school, but you will be here just taking your online college classes. I'm like, all right, that's cool. When I went out there, I had a great setup. I lived in basically like a mansion. I shared a room. I shared like a house with like 4 other roommates. And the experience was great.
Okay. And similar to Brewster, IMG is also producing major D1 prospects every single year.
Mm-hmm.
Who are some of the people that you play with over there?
Some of the guys I played with, though, you won't even know. It was like I had random dudes on my team. At the time, IMG was a big school, but it wasn't big on the map. Yeah, when I got there, 2 weeks later, we actually played against Brewster and lost them by a buzzer beater at the Brewster Invitational. So it was we played like a top schedule, but we didn't have top. I was like only top guy on that team. Okay. I had like 2 other guys that went D1, and then and his Kenner brother was on my team. He was actually my roommate too.
Okay.
He went to Xavier. He was pretty good. But besides that, anybody name you wouldn't even know. I had teammates from Serbia, Lithuania. It was guys from everywhere. So it was like a diverse group.
So shit, you was part of the starting process for Team Scan and IMG Academy, man.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a good story to tell people.
Yeah, bro.
And so you go to IMG Academy, you play good and everything. Being that you was a top 10 prospect, what was the reason that you couldn't be in the McDonald's All-American? Was it because you did a postgrad year?
Yeah, postgrad year. They can't have like a 5th-year guy in the McDonald's game. You got to be only 4 years. Okay. So I only got to do the Jordan Brand Elite 24 game.
And how was those experiences?
Experiences is fun. Like, you grow up playing with these guys, playing with the top 24 of your class, whatever. So like everybody I played with in these camps or these basketball tournaments or these games, I kind of was familiar with them, familiar with their game. And it was like a brotherhood at the time. So just playing in that and getting that accolade is just pretty dope to be recognized as one of the top players in the U.S. and then playing these games.
And you was in a great class. You was in a class with the D-Lows, the Jalil Okafors, Miles Turners, the Carl Anthony Towns. So yeah, for you to be recognized among them dudes, that's a great accolade, man.
Yeah.
And so the following summer, you entered Syracuse. How was it going to Syracuse? Like, what was your mindset that summer going into Syracuse? Because you got the hype. You one of the highly touted players to come to Syracuse, and you come in with another dude, Tyler Ennis, who's also made the NBA, a great point guard. How was that experience?
It was pretty good. The big thing for me was just to get on campus and be in shape, be in the best shape possible. Because I always, when I watched Syracuse or I was there in the summertime with my visits, I would go practice with them. I would work out with them, train with them, and the things they was doing was like before practice, they running the track or they lifting weights. And I wasn't really used to doing that. I started doing that at Brewster, but I wasn't really used to being on the track and getting your cardio in before practice and stuff like that, weights before and after practice and eating a certain way. So I wasn't really used to that. So I had to like basically like train my mind that summer before I went to summer school just to get ready for that.
Yeah, and I know with Syracuse, because I went to Binghamton University, so I had people's up in Syracuse. I used to go up there all the time and shit. I could see why you committed to Syracuse. Like, it's a dope school. The campus is big as
Oh,
hell.
that shit lit, man. That shit was lit.
I was about to get into that. Like,
yeah, that shit was lit. The parties is crazy. Like the campus is crazy. Summertime, the spring is lit. Even the wintertime, it's cold, but like everybody come to Syracuse to party. It's a good school to go to. The basketball atmosphere is crazy. You playing with a attendance of 20 to 25,000 each game. Like, that's the most in college. That's more than most NBA teams. So that shit is dope.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know y'all play on the football field.
Yeah,
because I went to I think I went to Midnight Madness one time. Yeah, I played on the football field. I'm like, yo, damn, this is a big ass, like a big ass coliseum, whatever they call the stadium.
That shit is dope.
So you start as a freshman and you come out on fire your first 8 games. You destroying this shit. And like how was that? Like, is it NBA in the back of your mind at that time? Because you come out, you looking like a one and done prospect off rip.
Yeah, it's not even in the back of my mind at the time, to be honest. But like I was getting a lot of media attention at the time, and they was coming out with so many articles and asking Boehiem about me and so many questions about the NBA so early on that he kind of got like mad about it, and he kind of said something to me about it. But at the time, like, I'm not even thinking about the NBA right now. Like, I'm still enjoying my process. I'm still enjoying the college moment. We didn't even play in conference yet, so I'm like, why am I thinking about the NBA so far? So I just continued to play, and then whatever happened was going to happen.
And how was you and Boehiem relationship? Like, did you have a good relationship?
Yeah, it was cool. It was cool. Like, we never had any really disagreements besides on the court. But that's my coach, so whatever he gonna say goes. He a Hall of Famer. So I just listened to him for real. Listened to my assistant coaches at the time, and I just played basketball.
And your next 8 games, you had like kind of like a drop off. What would you say contributed to that?
Honestly, I wasn't getting the same. You know how like when you first get to the school or you first get somewhere or to a team, they don't really know like your game like that. So I was getting open shots, getting a lot of mid range, easy layups and stuff like that, running the floor, and then closer to like conference play, they started scouting me a certain way. So
they started gaming for you.
Yeah, so I had to like really figure out where's my spots on the court. And once I've kind of figured that out, I kind of like my game started speaking for itself a little more. I started hitting a lot of mid-range. I started getting a lot of mid-range post-ups, face-ups. And I was watching videos on like Melo, Hakeem Work at the time, shots they was getting at the time. And I was trying to get the same thing. It was the same offense. So once I started doing that, my play started to pick back up.
And when your stats and your numbers are starting to pick back up against Florida State, first half, you tear your ACL. Like, what's going through your mind at that time?
I don't remember, to be honest. Like, it happened so fast that once it happened, I kind of knew. I didn't know what it was, but I knew I was like done. Like, it happened, and it felt like when I tried to stand up, I couldn't really move my legs, so I didn't know if I blew out my knee or not. But then when I finally got up and I tried to like walk it off, it felt like I was walking on fire. Like my shit was hurting bad, so I knew it was over.
And you tear your ACL, but later on in the season, you still decide to enter the draft. Why?
My name was already high on the draft boards, and I knew that it was going to be first round either way. So around this time, it's like March, and the draft is in June. My name was at the time I was like top 10, top 12 still in the draft. So I knew if my name was up there, I still have to leave. I don't want to try to come back a year, and then who knows when I'm ready to play at 100%. And at this time, my name is going down in the draft. And, you know, when you get older, they kind of look at that like, all right, this guy getting older, he was just hurt. So I'm like, okay, well, I got to leave if it's possible for me to go.
Okay. And it was never a thought to come back for your sophomore year? Because, I mean, I feel like if you would have came back from your sophomore year, even though you would have had to sit out, say, to conference play of the next season, I think you would have dominated the ACC.
Oh, yeah.
Were you on the ACC yet? Or you on the Big?
Now we was in the ACC. It's crazy because that year they went to the Final Four. So like I still get a lot of fans that hit me up saying like, yo, if you would have came back that year, we probably would have won a championship. Maybe we would have won. Who would have known? But who knows when I was going to be back 100%? Even when I got drafted to Brooklyn, I wasn't 100% for a long time. So who actually really know?
Yeah, and we're gonna hop on that. You entered the draft. That summer, everybody go through the pre-draft workouts and everything. Obviously, you can't because you got the ACL tear. So, what was that summer like for you preparing for the draft?
Just strictly rehab every day, Monday through Saturday, rehab, like the same schedule. Wake up, rehab, weights, wake up, rehab, weights every day until I was allowed to get on the court to even like shoot pull-up jump shots. So even the time when I got drafted, I wasn't even on the court moving like that yet. This is like 3-4 months. This is like 3 months out maybe after surgery. So I'm not even allowed to like start running yet. So I'm still like taking my time with it, and I just stayed with the rehab.
Do that shit get like depressing for you? Seeing all your peers being able to work out for teams and impress the scouts, and you know that you would have been able to impress the scouts with your freakish athleticism and everything. Did that like make you depressed seeing your name drop in the draft boards where you know you should have been higher?
It wasn't even depressing to me because I knew what I had to do to even get back, and I was still glad that I still had that moment to get drafted first round. Even though my name dropped a bit, I kind of knew Brooklyn was gonna pick me up at that point in time. They told me early. They told me before the draft, if I'm still on the board at that time, they're gonna pick me up. So I already kind of knew. I established a relationship with Brooklyn staff already, with the coaches, the GM. So at the time, I was already locked in. So I just tried to do everything I could just to rehab and get back as fast as possible.
And come June, you get drafted first round. Are you the first person to ever get? Because me and Dwight was just talking about this. We said that we think you're the first person to ever get drafted from you guys' neighborhood. Are you the first person to get drafted from the Cortland area?
Yeah.
And how was that moment for you? Because it's like that's every kid's wish, man. You know, you work your ass off for 18, 19 years and to hear your name called in the draft, let alone the first round. How was that? Was it a surreal moment for you?
Yeah, that shit. Honestly, I can't even speak on it. Like it was so. That's just every inner city's kid's dream. You know, either if you play football, you want to go to NFL. If you play basketball, you want to go to the NBA. So to hear your name get drafted, walk across that stage, shake hands. That's one of the proudest moments I could ever have.
Oh, you was in the Greenroom.
Yeah, I was there.
Oh yeah, that's shit. Yeah. That's even better experience, man. And Adam Silver was the. I
think that was his first year. I think.
Okay.
His first or second year. So that was a dope moment to experience and like just having, because I remember the year Kimba got drafted and I was super young, but I was still there for his draft party. So I'm like, yo, I gotta do the epic, like, you know what I mean? I got drafted. I'm the first hometown kid to get drafted to the hometown team. I gotta go big with it. So the whole hood was there, all my family was there. So shit was fun though. Shit was lit.
What did you do that night after you got drafted?
I hosted some club. I don't know the name of it shit, but I hosted some club like 2 nights in a row, and then right after that, it was straight to Brooklyn.
And so you come to Brooklyn, you drafted by them guys. Who were some of the people that was on the Brooklyn Nets team at the time?
Jared Jack, Joe Johnson, Thaddeus Young, Shane Larkin. Who else we had? Wayne Ellington, Thomas Robinson. Willie Reed, Rondé Jefferson got drafted that year. He got drafted to Portland, but then Portland traded for him draft night to Brooklyn. So me and Rondé got drafted together, basically.
Okay. Yeah, you had some good vets over there, man.
Yeah.
What was some of the advice them guys gave you?
Honestly, this try to be professional, because at the time I was still trying to figure out how to really be professional, even though I kind of learned from going to prep school, but like really showing up. Not even on time, but before the time he's supposed to show up to get your work in, do your workout beforehand. You know, after practice, you got to stay later because the vets want to shoot after. So you got to shoot after the vets shoot. Try to get there before the vets get there. Try to meet everybody on the plane. There's little things like that.
And you come back mid-season, and at one point of the season, you become a starter.
Yeah.
How was that experience? Like starting as a rookie, how was that experience?
It was a fun experience. It was a enjoyable moment. When my first starting game, we played Orlando, I actually played pretty good that game. I think I had like 13-8 that game. But it was dope to start though. Like just the dopest part about it was like first getting your name called. Now you're in the NBA. Now you playing a little bit. Now you starting. Like that's every kid's dream to start on the NBA floor. So my first game, we played against who we played against? Orlando. It was that's the year B. Jennings was there. They had Jason Smith, and I'm guarding Jason Smith at the time, and he's strictly picking pop 4-man.
Big white boy, right?
Yeah. So at the time, I'm trying to really like figure out how can I stop his pick and roll, his pick and pop game, because he at the time he's a vet. He knows his spots. He knows how to get to his spots, and he's busting my ass at this point. But I'm just trying to like learn little things from him. So when we at the free throw line, I'm boxing him out. I'm asking him certain things, and just trying to like learn, get some more knowledge about the game and stuff like that. But it was cool to kind of start a couple games.
Okay. And you said like you was asking him for advice and stuff. Like who's the dude who gave you like you'll say like the best advice as a pro?
Jared Jack and Thaddeus Young.
What was that advice?
Jared Jack he basically took me under the wing for real. My rookie year, me at the same who was there too? It was me and Ryan Boatwright from UConn.
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
We was there together. He kind of took us under the wing, and we was with him like every day, damn near. So any little thing about basketball or just life in general, whatever he said, I just always like it stuck behind and back of my mind. I just like trying to follow his lead all the time and kind of peep the things, how he move or how he go about certain things or what time he's showing up. When I get older, am I supposed to show up at this time or a little early or who to beat to the gym before the vets get there and shit like that. So any little thing, I just try to just keep in my back of my mind and just learn from it.
All right. Did you have a good relationship with Joe Johnson? Because I heard,
of course, yeah.
I heard some funny ass stories about Joe Johnson. I was watching Jeff Teague podcast. Yeah. John Crawford was talking about how he went partying with Joe Johnson and shit, and they got so twisted. He woke up in Joe Johnson's house and couldn't find Joe Johnson because the shit was so big.
Yeah, his house is crazy.
Yeah, he said he ended up coming to practice late and shit, and they was asking where Joe Johnson was at, but nobody could find him and stuff. Like, do you got any crazy stories like that?
No, I don't got no. I went out with Joe a couple times, but I was
not just Joe Johnson, just like in the NBA
in general. Yeah. I probably sure I got a couple wild ass stories. I don't want to really speak on them shits. Them shits is wild, but we for sure had a fun time in the league. But yeah, Joe got a big ass house. Joe got a big ass house for real, and his like his the shit that had me fucked up is his sneaker collection. Like when I see like some of these guys on the NBA team, like they got like a house full of straight sneakers, and that shit is crazy. You actually see it. It's wild, to be honest.
Yeah, I see. As everybody know, PJ Tucker, his fucking sneaker collection.
Yeah. His I never really been around. I ain't been in his crib before, so I can't tell you. But his sneaker game crazy. But Joe Johnson shit is wild.
It's together.
Yeah, it's wild.
And you play for Brooklyn for 2 years. Mm-hmm. And you ultimately leave. Like, what happened over there with that situation? Because I feel like your first year, you was contributing. I felt like you had an upward trajectory, and you stayed in Brooklyn for 2 years, and then you ultimately leave, end up going to DC. What you think happened over there?
Second year in Brooklyn, they fire everybody, the GM, coach, all the staff, and they hire everybody that was previously with the Spurs. And the Spurs, they got their own culture, they got their own the way they go about things over there. So before the season even started, they kind of already told me like, yo, listen, like, you come in, you got to work extra hard because this the guys we bringing in, but you have a chance to earn some minutes. I'm like, okay, cool, like I'm not worried about it. We get a new coach, we get a new GM, and I can kind of tell the vibes already. Then we had like a meeting, and dude was like, I don't really want no New York guys here because y'all bring a lot of attention. Y'all come with a lot of baggage. There's always a lot of people around y'all. And start saying little shit like that. So at the time, I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. He drafted his player, which is Karis LeVert. Okay. So I'm not really playing at the time. So at the time, all these coaches do is tell you, like, stay with it, stick with it. Stay focused or whatever. Stay ready. But, like, 40 games into the season, how many times you gonna keep telling me to stay ready at the same time? You know what I mean? I want to get out there and play too. Like, give me something. Let me at least show you what I can do with my little time.
Yeah, give me rope to hang myself.
You feel me? I wasn't getting none of that. So it come to the point like January. I'm like, yo, just trade me then. Like, get me up out of here if I ain't gonna play. Y'all just got me sitting here. So after All-Star break, first day after All-Star break, well, man, I forgot where we at. I get traded on the layup line. Facts. Get traded to Washington while I'm on the layup line. Same day, I just leave the arena, whatever. I take the train straight to Philly. The Wizards play 76ers this day. I get there, watching the game. Brad goes over for like 46 or some shit like that. Then get to the Wizards. Another team. I get there. It's like 5 vets ahead of me. I got Marcus Morris, Mike Scott. I got Jason Smith ahead of me. Jan Mahimi. So now I'm playing against all these dudes, and I'm like, dang, I come to the team, and I got straight vets ahead of me. So I'm not gonna play now. So I get there my first season, and I only averaged probably like 7 minutes, maybe 8 minutes. But in my little time, I was getting like 6 points, 6 rebounds. I was trying to get some shit fast to get shit going. So by the second year, beginning of the season, I started playing a little bit. I'm getting about 15 minutes or whatever. And as the season progressed, my minutes go down because we got so much of a veteran team. We a playoff team at that too.
Yeah,
so I never really got my opportunity to play with them like that. So that's how that went.
Okay. And your last stop was with Detroit on like a training. Was it like a training camp deal?
Yeah, so I was supposed to make. I kind of made the team that year too. It's crazy.
What happened with that situation?
That's the year Dwayne Casey was there. Honestly, he told my agent I was the best player behind Blake and Reggie Jackson at the time. I was playing well in training camp, and at the time, who was it? John Law, another 4-man. John Law was hurt, and he's supposed to be hurt for the year. So they was telling me like, yeah, you come in, you play well. You're gonna replace John Law. You're gonna take his spot or whatever. So I'm like, all right, cool. I come in, I do what I gotta do. I'm there early. I'm working out after. I'm asking questions. I'm trying to get familiar with the system or whatever. So I'm playing good comes like preseason games. And then 2 days before preseason is over, John Law's on the court playing 5-on-5 with us. So I'm looking around like, what the fuck? Y'all just told me he's out for the whole year. And I'm gonna come in and replace him for his spot. And he's playing 5-on-5, getting up and down. So I'm like, there's no, like, either y'all was lying to me or there's no truth behind the fact. So what happened? I think I ended up getting a deal from China. It was a good deal. My first time going overseas was a good deal in China. And I'm like, yo, I'm just going to take that. I'm going to run with it. So I ended up leaving 2 days before preseason was over.
So you didn't necessarily get waived. You just took a deal to go to China.
Yeah, because but like at the time, this is before they started doing a 17-man roster thing. Okay. So at the time, it's 15 of us, but John Law come back now, 16. So someone got to get cut anyways, and it was going to be me because I'm on a training camp deal. So I'm like, yo, I'd rather take what's guaranteed than work with a non-guaranteed.
And so you leave to go to China. Just hop on that experience. How was it in China? And you out there, you and overseas. Since you've been overseas, you've been putting up crazy numbers. I don't know why you ain't get a call to come back to the league yet. I know it's politics and stuff and that, but we just gonna get into the overseas career. Like, how is that playing in the CBA? You also played in the what's that? The PBA, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, CBA, PBA. Played the career. I had a couple stops, but China, my first time overseas, that shit was like, that was another culture shock to me when I first got over there because I wasn't prepared for China, to be honest. The money was good, but like when I got there, I wasn't in one of the top main cities. I wasn't in Shanghai or Beijing, so I didn't have like a average city like that. My city was like a mainland China, so there's nothing to do. It was one mall. I was the only black person in the city. Like it was like that. So I was bored. Everything I did was gym, hotel, eat in a hotel, like all day. I never ate nowhere else for real. So it was kind of boring to me, to be honest. And then like when you go outside, you go to restaurants, they smoking cigarettes in the restaurants, they smoking in the gym, they smoking halftime. Like, so I'm not used to all this shit. So it's kind of a little different for me. The language barrier was kind of hard to learn at the time. So I'm not really used to this shit. So I ended up being there like 2.5 months.
And what was your next stop after that?
So I went there. Then I came back home. Then I played in the G League for a little while. I went to play for RGV, was Houston D League team at the time. So I played there. I played there up until about February All-Star break. And then after All-Star break, I just never went back to the G League. I'm like, this shit whack, because they was promising me a spot with Houston too at the time. And then I was putting them numbers with them, and we was winning a lot of games, and they just kept, like, every week it was something new. So I'm like, you know what, fuck it, I'm not even going to go back. I'm just going to chill at the crib. Whatever come my way, I'm going to take. At the time, I'm getting deals from Israel. I'm getting deals from, like, the Middle East and shit like that, but I can't take this shit because I'm on a G League contract still. In order to get out that shit, I got to pay $60,000. So even a team got to pay that shit, or I got to pay that shit myself. Yeah. And, like, 5-6 months going into the G League contract, I just paid my way out of the contract. We're like, yo, whatever, I'm paid the $60,000, and at least I could be free. So for next season, I can sign where I want to go. Yeah. And
so, just like a lot of people go to the G League and take less money just to try to stay in the league. Mm-hmm. Like, just hop on that. Like, I heard, like, you know, some G League deals pay the same shit as a 9-to-5 deal, but people take it just to try to, I guess, bet on themselves.
Yeah, I can't speak about that. I don't know. I never did. I was only when I wasn't in the G League at the time. This is when I was with, like, the Nets or with the Wizards. I would actually go because I wasn't getting the NBA minutes that I need, so I would want to play. But at the time, I'm on NBA contract, so I'm getting my NBA salary just playing in the G League. So I didn't care. Yeah, so I didn't care about the money at the time. The only time when I did go to the G League and was getting paid that shit, I never even got paid. I never even received a paycheck from that team. They still got my paycheck to this day. So I don't really know what the money is like, but I know the money isn't good. The the travel isn't the same. You don't stay in the same hotel. Shit is totally different. But, like, to anybody who does that, and, you know, they trying to reach their goals, that's on them. Hopefully they get to it. But I was not doing that no more.
Yeah, no, ain't nothing wrong with betting on yourself. But yeah, that shit, I heard it's like AAU, like.
It's basically like AAU. Some of the guys, some of them share rooms. You know what I mean? I come to find, like, my whole career overseas, I never had to share a room with nobody. I know, like, in certain places in Europe, you got to share a room with somebody else. Most of these places share a room with somebody else. I never been in that position, so I'm thankful for it.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, so like you said, you made some stops. You played in Korea. You played in Lithuania at a point, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, currently, you in Taiwan.
Yeah.
How's that experience going for you?
Taiwan is dope, man. I love Taiwan. It's my third time out here. I honestly love Taiwan. I picked up on a language. I know Chinese a little bit. When I was in Korea, I picked up on Korean, so I kind of know a couple languages. And I always just landed in the perfect spot. You know, I was in a good city. My first year here, I was staying in Taipei, which is like the main city. It's kind of like New York almost, but right now I'm like a 45-minute train ride. But once you know how to travel and get place to place, it's super easy.
And are there any other people from the States out there with you as far as, like, basketball players?
There's a couple guys out here. Jeremy Lin out here this year. DeMarcus Cousins came out here this year, but he played in, like, the second division. Troy Williams was here, played in the league. He got hurt, so he went back home. Byron Mullins was here. He's playing in the league.
Oh, yeah, Ohio State.
Yeah. Who else is here? Perry Jones is out here. It's a lot of NBA dudes out here, to be honest. Like, the leagues are getting better. It's 3 different leagues, but they're gonna combine the first league and second league next year, so it's gonna be even better. The money's supposed to go up and everything.
All right, and what league you playing? The first league?
Mm-hmm. It's called the P League.
All right, that's what's up. That's what's up. And so as far as that goes, I wanted to ask you, all the cities and countries you've been to, what would you say is your least favorite and your favorite, and why?
My least favorite got to be China. Where I was staying in China, it was called Shanxi, Taiyuan, Shanxi, China.
You sound traumatized by that shit.
Yo, it was terrible. Like, I never been in a restaurant where they smoking cigarettes in the game or an arena where they smoking cigarettes. It's just cigarette smoke everywhere. Like, the town, the city was dirty. It was like spit over the floor, cigarettes everywhere. It just wasn't comfortable. It was nasty. Besides the hotel, and, like, besides that, my other, I don't know, best place I played. I had a couple places. Philippines was dope. Korea is lit. Korea kind of like New York. Taiwan kind of like New York almost. But I would say Philippines.
Philippines?
Mm-hmm.
And why is that?
Just their basketball culture in itself. Like, they just live and breathe basketball. When there's a game going on, there's no one driving on the road. When there's a finals game, there's no one outside. Everybody's watching the game. The fans out there is amazing. The love out there you get is amazing. Philippines is a dope place.
All right. And before we get out of here, I just got a couple more questions for you. I want to ask you 2 questions. I want to ask you, what was your welcome to the NBA moment, and what was your welcome to overseas moment? Like, as far as like, did someone cut your ass, or besides Jason Smith, did someone like really cut your ass in the NBA where you found out like, yo, damn, this really the NBA?
One of the games I started, we played against Indiana, and at the time, when I was with Brooklyn, I wasn't supposed to play back-to-back games because I was coming over injury. Mm-hmm. But for some reason, I was suited up that night, and they didn't take my name off the list from playing that night, from sitting out. So I started that game, and I hit 2 threes in a row. I'm not even supposed to be playing this game. So I hit 2 threes in a row back-to-back, but I'm guarding PG at the time. And this is like at the time when PG is PG, and his, like, you know, he in his bag. And he know I'm a young dude, and he whispered something to me. I forgot what he said exactly, but like he basically like I'm on your ass now. Like, you know what I mean? You came out, you hit 2 threes back to back. I'm on your ass. He come down. He pull up 3 on me. Come down, get an N1 on me. Come down, hit another 3 on me, and then I think I end up hitting another 3 going into the second quarter. And by that time, it's the second quarter. The not the manager, but the training staff on our team, they pulled me from the game. It was like, yo, you're supposed to be playing this game. Yeah. But at that time, Paul George was trying to get at me because I hit 3 back-to-back. Yeah, he was trying to get at me that time.
But now, yeah, that's a dope story to tell, though, man. You could say that you went at it with PG and shit in your limited minutes.
Yeah, he tried to get at me. And what's the other thing you asked?
And like, what was your welcome to overseas moment?
Welcome to overseas moment. I would say my first time playing in China, I played against Brandon Bass. His team, they had won the CBA title like 2 years in a row. So his team is well liked. But overseas in like Asia, they cheat on games. They bet on games. So they call fouls a certain way for like the better team or whatever. At the time, my first time over there, I'm getting like beat up. I'm getting like elbow. I'm getting like punched in the stomach. All type of little shit. And the refs there be looking at you and staring at you and would not call that shit. So one time, one of the Chinese dudes hit me with an elbow. So I turned around, threw the ball at him, and hit him with an elbow back. They called like a flagrant foul on me, kicked me out the game. I got fined and all types of shit. I'm like, yo, damn, this is how it is out here in Asia. Shit is crazy. But as you like continue to play in your career and you visit all these countries and you see how they ref the game and they cheat a certain way and you got to go about the shit a certain way.
And I just got 2 more questions before we get out of here. Do you feel like you have any regrets over your basketball career?
None at all. I don't have none at all. None at all. I'm happy where I'm at. I'm happy I get to do this shit every day, feed my family, get paid a lot of money too. Especially like living in Asia is totally different from what I ever expected, but I'm happy about it.
That's what's up. And you have your family out there with you too?
Not now, but they come to visit.
Okay, that's dope. Man. And my last question is basically the theme of this podcast. As you can see, the name of this podcast is Key to the Game. And Key to the Game is basically like some knowledge or wisdom that you could give to the younger generation or to your younger self to basically help you in the long run. So I just wanted to ask you, what would be your key to the game?
Key to the game, for my younger self or younger generation. Honestly, this the really, especially nowadays, just the really focus on what you really want to do with your craft and school. Like school played a big role for me. So I know how hard it is to get into some of these colleges. You got to have a certain amount of grades, and a lot of kids now, especially in the inner city, don't really like school. Some of them dropped out of school super early. Just stay with it and just keep working hard for real.
All right.
Shit can change your life.
That's a fact, man. That's the key to the game, man. Yo, Chris, man, I appreciate you for coming up here, man. You could have been doing anything today, but you got up here with me, man. I appreciate you, man. And everybody else that's tuning in, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share, man. That's another episode in the books, Key to the Game. Chris, I appreciate you, bro.
All right, good luck, bro.